Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to the lecture. In this lecture, we will try to understand how the excavation has to be done on the site. So far, we understood how the centerline marking has to be done. So once this thing is done, we are supposed to do the excavation and take out the quantities. Take out the soil from the ground. So we'll see that how it has to be done. So excavation is done so that the footing is laid at a suitable depth from the NGL, where NGL stands for natural ground level. Wherever you are standing, if you go out of your house and the ground wherever you are standing, no, that is called as NGL, which we call as natural ground level. The excavation is done till the hard strata is obtained, so as to rest the footing and transfer the load to the soil. So we should understand how the load transfers happen in a building. So let us consider this is a slab, right? The gray color, what you can see, this is my slab. The one which is yellow in color, this one is called as a beams. And then the vertical elements, we call this as a columns. And finally, the brown one, what you can see, no, that is my footing, or you can call it as foundation. Depends what exactly you're doing there. And then you can see the vertical arrow mark over there. That is actually the reaction coming from the soil. See, one thing we need to understand, whatever load comes on your building, everything has to be taken care by the soil. So soil is going to give you the reaction. This is the action you are putting, the entire load, and from the soil, the reaction is going to come. Okay, that means it depends whatever depth I'm supposed to do. It depends on the condition of the soil, how much capacity my soil has to take it, right? So it depends on the soil. So always understand the load will travel from the slab. From the slab, it will go to the beams. From the beams, it will come to the column. From the column, it will come to the footing. And the footing is going to distribute that particular load over the soil. This is how the load transfers happen, right? So this is how we are supposed to do the excavation. You will be calling in the JCB or a backhoe, and he's going to do the excavation, right? You can see whatever marking we had done, the footing marking we had done. So that much amount of soil will be excavated by the backhoe, and with the help of a tipper we are going to dump the soil wherever space we have. Okay, so this is how the excavation is done, and you can see a lot of excavation has been done. Let us say in our particular drawing what we had taken, we had roughly 3 and 3, we had around 10 footings, right? Now let us say the 10 footing excavation has been done here. Okay, now next question comes, how much is the depth of the excavation that you are supposed to do, right? When we are doing excavation, we should know what is the total depth we are supposed to do. We'll try to see that how much is the depth we are supposed to do. Whenever you refer any structural drawings, you'll be getting a cross section something like this. This is called as a cross section. Whatever I'm explaining, just concentrate on those things, forget about all other things. We'll try to understand them in a due course of a time. So there's one level which is called as EGL. EGL stand for the existing ground level. I'll write it here. EGL stand for existing ground level. Okay, whatever is a ground level that you have, it is an existing ground level. That's the first thing what we have. After that, where EGL stand for existing ground level, then we have NGL. NGL is called as natural ground level, and sometimes we write ground level. All three are one and the same. There's a slight variation, that's it. Natural ground level in the sense wherever is a level you have, you come out of your house, wherever whatever level you have, that is my natural ground level. Existing ground level is also similar to that. Sometimes we may do a filling wherever you are out of your home, right? If you come out of your home, that is a natural ground level what we have. But sometimes what we do a filling. Okay, maybe we don't want the road, we don't want the water from the road to come inside, right? That means my plinth level is little down, so I'll add little few more amount of soil, and that will be my existing ground level. Okay, there's no much difference in that, and few people call this as a ground level, right? This much is clear for us. Now you can see something written here. See, from this EGL level, how much is the depth of the footing that you're supposed to excavate, that is written here. So what is mentioned here, minimum 1.5 meter or up to hard soil. So here they are given minimum 1.5 meter excavation has to be done, otherwise up to the hard soil you have to do. So that is why what we are going to do, we are going to do the excavation till 1.5 meter. Now sometimes what will happen, if you're working for a bigger projects and all, big residential projects, big industrial projects, all this depth will be given by the geotech consultant. See, we have two types, we have many types of engineers, but for our discussion we want two. One is a civil engineer who will take care of all the work at the site, and whatever drawings we are seeing it here, like the foundation sizes, the column sizes, all those things will be given by the structural engineer. And then there is one more engineer called as geotechnical engineer. So a geotechnical engineer is going to study about the soil, what kind of soil is there, how is the quality of the soil and all, because ultimately the load has to come and it has to get transferred to the soil, right? So first we need to understand the behavior of a soil. So a geotech consultant will come. If it is a very bigger project I'm speaking of, they're going to take a sample of the soil and they're going to do a test on that, and finally they're going to come to a conclusion for this particular area or for this particular soil or for this particular plot, you have to do a depth of excavation up to 2 meter, or let us say 2.5 meter, right? In this way they are going to mention it in the geotechnical report, and based on that we are going to do the excavation. But if it is a normal G+1 structure, okay, not a G+1, if it is a normal structure and all, and if the soil is very good, in that case we don't have to do this geotechnical investigation. Through our experience we can come to a conclusion that usually for a small house G+1, G+2 and G+3, if the soil is very good, we can go up to 5 feet or 6 feet of excavation is a very good excavation. So that is why they have mentioned it as 1.5 meter, that is 1 meter is 3.2 feet. So almost it is roughly close to 5 meter of the 5 feet of the excavation has to be done, okay, up to the hard soil. Until we get a hard soil, we have to do the excavation, okay. I hope this much things are clear for you. Yeah. So once you do the excavation, this is how it looks finally. You can see it here. This is the excavation what we have done, and this is the depth of the excavation that we are supposed to do. So let me go in this way. Let us say this was my breadth of my footing, and this, wait, let us consider this was the length of my footing, okay, and this was the breadth of my footing, and finally this is the depth of my footing, whatever depth I was supposed to excavate, no, that much depth I have done the excavation, right? So I hope you are clear with these points. Now coming to the main point, yeah, we'll see even this also. So finally when you do the excavation, no, this is how it looks finally. You've done the excavation, let us say 1 2 3 4 5 6, so many footings you have, and you have done the excavation. Now we'll come into the main question, that is we'll try to see different structural drawings how it is mentioned. So I've taken one drawing here. It is mentioned schedule of footings, and this is a section where we need to concentrate, see what is the depth of the footing. So if I come here, you can see they have written NGL, which is called as natural ground level, and from there they have given an arrow mark, I mean they have shown it in this way. You have to do an excavation of 5 feet, you can see. So for this particular project, that is what is the name of the project, they have written here, okay. The client name is so and so, and this is the project what they're doing. For this particular project you have to do an excavation up to 5 feet. So what you are supposed to do, you are doing an excavation up to 5 feet. In the same way, I'll show you one more drawing. We'll see here. This is a one more drawing what I have, okay. And here what is mentioned here, this is GL, it's one and the same. See here they have mentioned GL, that is ground level. From there to the bottom of the PCC, what they have mentioned, 6 feet minimum or up to the hard strata they have written. That means for this particular building they have found that they want to do excavation up to 6 feet. So you'll do excavation up to 6 feet, right? Got it? Similarly we'll take other cases as well, okay. I'm taking different drawings just to make you clear with all these things. Again you see here in this particular project they have written this is NGL, which is called as natural ground level, and what they have mentioned, from the natural ground level to the bottom of the PCC, it is mentioned you have to do 1.5 meter, that is 1500 mm, or 1.5 meter of excavation has to be done. Got it? Forget about all the things, all these things you don't get confused, already explained in my drawing reading course. But as we proceed with the course, I'll be explaining a bit about all these things. Complete understanding of a drawing is quite difficult in this particular course. There's a separate course taken by me by the name drawing reading. In that course I've explained all these things, and there we are actually concentrating on how to read the structural drawings in a more better way, okay. But for our understanding this much is enough. In the same way I've taken one more drawing here. Now again we can see what is mentioned here. Again it is mentioned GL. Again from here to the bottom of the PCC it is mentioned 5 feet minimum or up to hard strata. So you're going to do the excavation up to 5 feet, okay. I hope this many drawings are enough for our understanding. Anyway, we'll take another two drawings. Again this is one more drawing I've taken. It's a school building what I have. Again what is mentioned here, see here, again they are written NGL, that is called as natural ground level, and what is mentioned here, 1500 mm or up to hard strata. That means from here you have to do an excavation of 1.5 meter. And finally I'll take you to one more drawing now, where we had done the total station marking, right? So this is that particular project where we had done that total station marking, right? For that particular project what they have mentioned is, see this is that level, From here to the bottom, that is up to the top of the foundation, they have written depth of excavation less than 2.5 meter or as per soil test report. But for this particular building, like the total station building, what I shown you, there we had conducted the soil test, and through the soil test, they gave us a report that you have to do an excavation of nearly, it was nearly about 10 feet, yeah, nearly about 8 feet of excavation we had done. Okay, 8 feet of excavation we had done, and based on that, the execution was carried out, right? So I hope you got an idea about all these things, that how we have to do the excavation. We have done the marking. After that, you have to call in the excavator, and in the drawing it will be mentioned whether you have to do the excavation for 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, 1.5 meter, or whatever. Just in case, sometimes what will happen, even after doing excavation of, let us say, 5 feet, if you're not getting a hard soil strata, maybe you have to excavate another 1 feet. Okay, but that you have to take a call with the help of a structural engineer. You have to contact the structural engineer, saying that we are getting a soft soil there, and in that case we can try to excavate another 1 or 2 feet, so that we are going to get the hard soil straight up. Most of the time we get it. Okay, otherwise you can do the soil investigation, and you can come to the conclusion. For the smaller projects, usually we don't want to spend on the uh, soil testing, because again they are going to charge you like 15-20,000 rupees. So that is why, based on the experience and based on the neighboring plot, we can have a discussion with them, what is the depth they are taken. Of course, it depends on building to building. You cannot let us say your neighbor constructed a G+1 building, and you want to construct a G+5 building. In that case, whatever depth he has taken, you cannot take the same depth, since your height of the building is more, you're constructing a more floor, more load is coming. Then you have to get in the geotech consultant and get your soil tested, right? So I hope I was able to convey most of the things in this lecture. Now, yeah, so now you have to tell me, we have done the excavation. Now tell me, what is the total excavated soil that we have got? You can see a lot of soil has been stored here, right? So what is the total quantity of a soil that we have got it here? So just think on that, how you can calculate that quantity of a soil which we have excavated. So in the next lecture, I'll be explaining you how to understand the bill of quantities, and also will explain you how you can calculate the quantity of this particular plan, like how you have to measure all these quantities. So I hope you enjoyed the lecture up to here. We'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.